A. Smith getting pressed out by LeBron James. You don't gotta need to read the mouse. If you just a man or you've just been outside enough, you can just read body language of somebody who's being very aggressive and then look at Stephen A. Smith's shoulders kind of drop down. So he's allowing to let the LeBron know, I really don't want no bump. I hear you, big dog. I don't want no type of problems. But let's be honest. Let's get into the real backstory on this. A lot of people sitting here saying, well, Bronny is a basketball player. He's played in the NBA, so he should be able to be criticized. Of course, I would be with that if he wasn't the 55th pick, and I would be with that if First Take talks about the Detroit Pistons. Why this is a backstory real quick, because the Detroit Pistons been trashed for like the last, 3 or 4 years, maybe even 5, and now they are literally the 6th seed in the East and been playing great basketball, but you'll never turn that on. The Cleveland Cavaliers could literally win out and end up, their record could be 72-10. Or they could sit here and lose 2 more games and be 70-12, where it's like you don't hear ESPN talking about that. Why? Because the Cavaliers don't have a big superstar. But again, I just seen Stephen A. Smith responding to Charles Barkley, because Charles Barkley had smoke for the whole entire ESPN staff, where he was like, bro, all y'all talk about is Steph and LeBron and the Warriors and the Lakers. Like, give it a break. You should be talking more about the Cavaliers and OKC. And I totally agree with Charles Barkley, because I do think realistically for most fans who don't got time to watch every game or learn every player, you do go to these shows. It's almost like a DJ. Yeah, I know what songs I already like, but your job is to break new songs. Your job is to introduce me to new music I'm not familiar with. And that's how you look at somewhere like First Take or any of these other sports shows that's actually on a sports network. You're supposed to help introduce me to newer athletes as well. And that is one of the reasons why there's not as much hype when it was just, okay, or it looked like it's going to be OKC and Cleveland in the finals. Yeah, because you didn't take a good job. Yeah, everybody know SGA, and some people may know Chet, but you don't know the rest of the team. The way you sit here doing a deep dive on the 55th player, the 55th pick of the draft, which was Bronny James, and which he going in and out of the G League. We should never even be talking about Bronny. You should literally, before the Luka trade, the Lakers was the 5th seed, and people wasn't talking about it with that level. So that's why I agree with what Charles Barkley said. I do think ESPN, especially First Take and Stephen A. Smith, you waste too much time on just LeBron, and you trashing Bronny. But you could have been uplifting the Detroit Pistons. You could have sit here been highlighting other players on OKC so people can get familiar with them, or talking about the Cavaliers, or even talking about how Orlando was kind of making a push before Pablo got injured. So I think if you don't really watch these shows and really don't pay attention, you just feel like, oh, LeBron is overreacting. No, he's a parent, and he probably watched these shows and understand, hey, it's a million other people you could be talking about, and you ain't talking about them stories. You worried about my son because it's clickbait. So I'm going to give you some real clickbait. Now, what's up?